Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me. First of all, I have to confess I was a bit surprised by this invitation because I'm not familiar with DePIN. I'm not familiar with this community until now. For my education, computer scientist, and I deal with data. And so I'm, with my mind, more in the non-physical world of abstraction. So I try to contribute because first I refused to have this talk, and then said, oh, come, and it's of interest for us. And what I would like to tell you is a bit about data sharing initiatives in Switzerland. We studied from the Swiss Data Alliance together with the Bern University of Applied Sciences, Berner Fachhochschule, and Digital Switzerland, and we published the study 2 weeks ago exactly, and maybe it's of help for your initiative, and there are connecting points between us. So who is the Swiss Data Alliance? We call ourselves a think tank for constructive data policy in Switzerland, and constructive, we think that is used oriented, okay? For data protection, there are other initiatives. We are also, of course, for data protection, but data use is our aim. Here you see some of our members and our core team, and we're located in Zurich, as you see. Then also to remember, maybe you know this initiatives, we are hosting the Gaia X Hub of Switzerland, and we are a member of the International Data Space Association. And now the promised speaker is gone. I hope it's not too small, my thinking. I'm gonna present to you, because I saw on the last slide of the predecessor of my talk, that data spaces is small thinking. So, but we are in this area of data spaces and data sharing initiatives. Now, what we did is we said we have to know more about data spaces and data sharing initiatives in Switzerland. And the interesting point here of all is well, first of all, we had to address data space, not only data space initiatives in Switzerland, because I think maybe there are 3 or 4 initiatives that call themselves data space initiatives. So expanded the term and said data sharing is the aim. And for us, the surprise has been that there are over 100 such initiatives actually in Switzerland. When we started in last May, we thought about 20 to 30 initiatives maybe, but we ended over 100 we addressed with our survey. And over 60 of them responded to our survey. And I think the real number of data sharing initiatives only in Switzerland is somewhere between 120 and 150, maybe. How was the name of the speaker of the initiative? Onkoi, maybe is also one we would like to have on our survey, but we missed to address you. I'm sorry for that. So we identified these 100 data sharing initiatives in Switzerland, and you see here, I'm sorry for the study, is only available in German. And there is an English executive summary, and if you want to read it in English, maybe you have to put it into DeepL or something else to understand it. We think about the English translation, but we haven't already. So these slides are a bit also in German, and these data sharing initiatives are located in public administration, not surprisingly, in research, open science, and mobility and health, and then it's going down. And what you see is that in the industry and the private sector, data sharing initiatives actually are but underrepresented from our point of view. That's maybe due to the lack of our knowledge, I have to say, because we didn't systematical research for data sharing initiative. We just collected the address and the connections we had in our network, and of course we did a bit research, but not systematically. So like construction or logistics are underrepresented. Now, what is the biggest challenge for this initiative? If we ask them in the survey about different things, what they're doing, what are the use cases, what is the business case of your initiative, and so on and so forth. But what is the biggest challenge? And we have been a bit surprised that over 80% of the data sharing initiatives that responded to our survey said data quality is the biggest challenge. And I think this fits a bit with maybe our perception, but that's clear. It was surprising for us. Of course, then we have data security and compliance, operations, interoperability, trust, and also financing as also challenges, but data quality is the big challenge. Then we have some other findings that was also a bit surprising, that 2/3 of the initiatives say they are productive, so they are not anymore in the prototype or pilot phase, they're productive. And of course, concrete use cases and public value are the most important incentives. Then they operate mostly with structured factual data. Also, this is remarkable because, of course, there's a lot of value in personal data, but data sharing initiatives in Switzerland are focused on structured factual data until today. And then this has maybe to do a bit with AI. AI is still in its infancy beneath the data sharing initiatives in Switzerland until today. We see not a lot of initiatives that focus on AI, and I'm sure that will change in the next years. That's obvious. Then basic government data infrastructure is desired. I'm coming back on that. And of course, also descriptive metadata is an important issue for the data sharing initiatives. And also financing is a long-term challenge for these initiatives. You find, yeah, hello. I have some concurrence in speaker there. So now, what we designed here, we said we have to position our findings of the survey and also of interviews and research within a big picture of the data ecosystem of Switzerland. And we used this simple big picture. We have at the basic layer the data generation, then we have the data sharing initiatives and infrastructures, and data reuse use cases at the top. This is a very simple picture, I say, but it shows some problems we have with the term data ecosystem in Switzerland. First, this data sharing, we don't know anything until now about these data sharing initiatives and data sharing infrastructures. And that's the first important result of our study. We know now there are between 100 or 150 such initiatives and maybe more. And we just started to investigate about these initiatives. Now, the data to be shared has to come from somewhere. And here's the basic layer. And here we have all the companies, public administrations, research institutions that produce during the daily operations a lot of data, as you know. Then we have the Internet of Things, so this is your topic, I think. And then all the platforms we use every day. And then we have a basic layer with basic data infrastructures like geospatial data, of course, and registries and others. And I have to say, a second finding, central finding, meta finding of this study is that we don't know nothing about this basic layer. We don't know how many. We know that there are about, I think we have 600,000 companies in Switzerland, something like that in the registry, but we have no idea how many data they produce, how they use the data. It's really a black box. The same thing with the Internet of Things. I only talk about Switzerland and also about the platforms. But everybody in any keynote says the data is the new oil or the new gold. And we have no idea how many gold we have in Switzerland. We have no idea. I make one example. Mark, you have to tell me when I stop because I have to catch the train. Thank you. Geospatial data. That's an interesting point. What geospatial, it connects a bit with the talk before me. We have, of course, a geospatial data infrastructure at the Federation, Swiss Topo. And now an interesting question would be, what's the worth of this geospatial data infrastructure? And I talked, I don't know, 15 years to the director of Swiss Topo about this issue. And I asked him, what if today all geospatial data would be away, would be destroyed, and we had to reproduce all the geospatial data available at the Federation? What do you think, how much money would be needed to reconstruct the geospatial data of Swiss Topo 15 years ago? Do you have a guess? 5 to 10 billion, 5 to 10 billion, okay? 5 to 10 billion, only the worth of geospatial data at the federal level. Take the canton and the community, you can double this number to, let's say, 15 to 20 billion, and then you see what's the worth of a data infrastructure. Only geospatial data in Switzerland, we are in the era of the NEAT or something like that. Huh? That's interesting. So we don't know nothing about this basic layer. Maybe you can help to clarify. I think we have really a big task here. And there is one country in the world, as far as I know, who established national data bookkeeping. Do you know which country I'm talking of? China. China, of course, is really, they realize, and they are at the forefront, of course, of AI, but they all realize that the word, the data is gold or something like that. They need to know how many data gold they have in the country, so they started to bookkeep about data on the national level. I'm close. We have done, and at top level, we also don't know too much. And here, I just underpin the questions. We don't have a consensus in Switzerland what we will want to arrive with data use cases. We have a lot of data use cases, obviously, but what are the questions we want to answer with data? We don't know. When it's surprising, not surprising maybe in the politics that now the budget of our Federal Office of Statistics cut it down by 30 million, I think, per year. Because they're too expensive. But how you can say they're too expensive if you don't know what questions you want to answer with the data that the Federal Office of Statistics is collecting. So I think we have to care about the questions we want to answer. This is the last slide. We have identified some success factors for data sharing initiatives in Switzerland, 5 of them. And they are pinned with recommendations. And I just focus on the success factor 1. It's the common understanding and the knowledge what we are talking about. What is the data ecosystem? What are the data sharing initiatives? And again, what is the base layer of data generation and the lack of a, let's say, national data bookkeeping. So I recommend to read our studies available on the website of Swiss Data Alliance. And yeah, thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to call up, sorry, the questions are, it was a bit longer, but next I would like to call Jens Hunhewitz.